Today's subject is about building a cash machine email list. This was the biggest mistake I ever made when I first started. I sat there and I was like, yeah, email list. That sounds like a lot of work. I don't want to have to do all that. And back then it really was a lot of work because that was like 2009. And back then they really didn't have all these email responders and stuff. And today, not only am I going to tell you how to do this list and how you build it, but I'm also going to tell you where to find a list, what they cost as far as email providers. I'm even going to tell you what to send out because that was the thing that used to drive me nuts. I'd sit at my desk. I'm like, well, what am I going to write? What am I going to write? And then I found myself just, putting a whole bunch of ads and, trying to sell my products, and I wasn't getting responses, and it was just a nightmare. I don't know if any of you have tried that. If so, you can put your comments there in the box. But I mean, it was difficult. It was really, really hard. So I was not good at that. Over the years, that's changed. And if I knew, everybody says this, right? If I knew, back then what I knew now, the number one thing I would have done is build my email list before I even built the website. I know that sounds insane, but I want you to think of it this way. What if you were going to start a restaurant that, I don't know, sold barbecue, whatever it is? What if you had a list of people that loved your barbecue and had already tasted it and was willing to buy it the day you open your doors? Would that be awesome? I mean, that'd be pretty cool, right? So that's pretty much what a list is. It's these crazy raving fans that really love you and want what you've got because of what you do. So I'm going to talk today about what you need to do and how we're going to build this list, because there's several ways to do it, some pretty unique ways and some traditional ways. And some of the other ways that did work back then do not work anymore, because I've got this little picture here that you're looking at now. Nobody wants to join a mailing list anymore. So if you have a pop-up and it says join our mailing list, you might as well just take it down because it's not going to work. I'm not saying pop-ups don't work, because pop-ups, they work great. But saying join my mailing list, that is not going to work. Okay, so we don't want to do that. So let's talk about what we do want to do. Okay, first off, why are these lists so darn important? Because they are important, right? Well, the first reason is you can actually build your brand. When you have a mailing list, your name of your company, if it's a personal one, your name, your niche, everything, you're building that brand right now. That brand is going to have value on down the road. So that email list allows you to be able to do that. Here's something cool: guaranteed extra income. Now, what do I mean by that? I know for a fact, because our list is big enough now, I can send out an email and make instant money. I could do that right now. As a matter of fact, if I did, I ought to do it live on these webinars, just send out a really bad email, but I don't want to do that because I want to mess up my list. But I could send out almost anything and offer something for sale, and somebody's going to buy because the list is big enough now. That's a pretty cool thing, that you can just ring the bell for cash anytime you want to do that. But we're going to talk in a second about what you should and shouldn't do on your list, because if you do that, in other words, if I were to sit there and say, hey, I've got this case of survival canned meats, why don't you buy some? And I did that 4 times in a day. The 4th time, I wouldn't do so well. Okay, the first time I'm going to do great, but we don't want to do that too much. But we do have a schedule of how we want to do this, and I'm going to share that with you at the end here so that you know exactly what to do. It can provide useful content. So, our list is not all about, and this is what I thought in the beginning, it was all about just selling people stuff. It's not that. When you get these emails from, I don't know, Home Depot or, a local restaurant, it seems like they're always trying to sell you stuff. But what if your local restaurant every now and then sends you emails and it was a video of some of the recipes they had at the restaurant, and those people were actually cooking the recipes, and then you could download the recipe and you could make it at home? I guarantee you, if they did that a couple times a week, and we tell businesses to do this, if they did that a couple times a week, you know what? All the other emails are going to get open for their dinner specials. So that's really important. It's a company asset. When, internet companies are sold, one of the first things people ask are, do you have a list and how big is it? If it is a huge list and it's been producing, that makes your business worth more money. So that's really, really cool that you can build that list. And in many ways, you can do it free, and it can become something of great value too. So it doesn't rely on a platform. You own those names. Now, here's the scary thing, and we all do it, right? I have Facebook groups. Some of you are in my Facebook group. If you're not, you're welcome to join. It's called The Art of E-Commerce Success, The Art of E-Commerce Success. But let me tell you something. That group could go away tomorrow. Facebook could say, don't allow groups anymore, and I lose everybody, or they could ban my account. I mean, anything could happen. So if you're relying on these other platforms, like a page with likes or a group in Facebook and you haven't built a list, you own nothing. They can take it away from you instantly. Same thing on YouTube. You could have a million followers, and if they close your account, then what? Even if you're making money off it. But if you've got an email list, you own those names. So that's a really cool thing. So how much can you make from your email list? Now, it depends on so many different factors, but you can make a lot of money. Let's look at, what percent of your income could be made from a list. Check this out. 70 to 80% of your business could come from your list. And, I talked to people from all around the world. I was talking to, and I don't know if Marilyn's in here or not the other day, but Marilyn's doing a really good job. She's in Barcelona, Spain. She's actually from the US, but she has a list of people and she doesn't mail them. And so, and she didn't have any upsells, downsells, anything to her product, and she wasn't making much profit. But if she had added those things, if she had emailed her list, look at the difference. 70 to 80% of your business comes from your list. And here's the other scary part. Soon you won't be able to compete. Now, let me explain to you why you won't be able to compete. Because if I have a list and I know I'm going to make money off my list and I'm mailing them, and you don't have a list and you're not mailing anybody, I can afford to pay more for a lead than you can. So I can squeeze you out of the market because I know, like, for example, if somebody spends $10 with our company, we already have the statistics on this, that over the next 6 months, they're probably going to spend another $320, of which $140 is going to be profit. Now, if that's the case, I can spend $140 for a buying customer. How much can you spend for one? Well, if you're selling products that are 10 or 20 or $15 or something, and you're not making $140 on your very first sale, you can't compete with me because I'm following up with all these emails. So it's really important. So next thing I want to do is, if you don't have an email list, I want to talk about the top 10 email providers. And guys, Jessica is monitoring any questions. So if you have any questions as I'm going through this, because I know I sometimes go fast, just type those questions in that chat box down there. We've definitely reached our maximum capacity right now, guys. Don't log out. If you log out, you will lose your spot. So let's look at the top email providers right now. Now, some of these I've had personal experience with, others I have not. I pretty much know all of them, and I can kind of tell you what they're going to do. And we're going to even show you the cost of some of these. One thing I will tell you, when you start with a low-end email provider, and what I mean when I say low-end, not that there's anything wrong with them, but the ones that don't have as many bells and whistles, the ones that let you get in really, really cheap. As you build your list, you're going to have to move. And here's why you're going to have to move, because once your list gets big, they are very expensive. And the ones that don't charge a lot for huge lists are really expensive to get into. So you're going to have to switch platforms at some point. So the first one I want to talk about is Constant Contact. They've been around for many years. I started with Constant Contact in 2010. We did outgrow it. They couldn't do some of the marketing things we wanted to do. And I don't really know what they do now, but it's not the preferred email list anymore. They're out there and they advertise a lot. You'll see them advertising a lot. Personally, if I was starting with a list, I would not start with Constant Contact, but they're there, and if you like them, and you like what they do, cool, then go ahead, do it. The next one is going to be Aweber. This is one of my favorites, and I'm actually going to have Jessica post in the comments section now where you can get a deal on Aweber. There's going to be a link in that comment section so you guys can see it. Hey, there's Vinny from London. I see Vinny. He just popped in. He must have grabbed somebody's spot. Good to see you, Vinny. So Aweber is a really good one. Aweber will allow you to build, campaigns in there so that you can offer your sales funnel to people. So I would highly recommend Aweber, especially if you're just starting out. They're very inexpensive, and I'm going to go over the cost of it in just a second too. The next one I would recommend is GetResponse. I have not used GetResponse. I have a lot of clients, friends that use GetResponse. They're very happy with it, but I can't tell you about it personally, but I will go over the cost on that in just a second also. The next one up is MailChimp. MailChimp is one you can actually get into for free, as you can with some of these others. They let you stay in there for free for a while, but you're not going to be able to do some of the more intricate type things that we do or that you're going to need to do on down the road, but it's a fine one to start with. Next one is ActiveCampaign. ActiveCampaign does allow you to do certain campaigns and tag people or put them in folders, whatever you want to call it. It's like, every one of these email providers, when you attach information to a customer, calls it something different. Some of them call them folders. Some of them, you know, Infusionsoft calls it tags, which is the last one I'm going to talk about, which is Infusionsoft. Now, Infusionsoft is one of the higher end ones. And I know, you know, somebody put in the comment there are more email providers. Yes, I know there are more email providers. Okay. I'm not putting every single email provider that is in the world there. Okay. I'm putting the ones that I think are really good ones. Infusionsoft is a really, really good one. Infusionsoft, you can build some very elaborate campaigns in there, and based on actions, where people click in your email, you can direct them to different sequences and funnels. So that's pretty cool. So what does Aweber cost? Aweber is going to cost you at the time I just researched this, they're going to give you a free trial, and after that it's like 19 bucks a month. Okay. Now they're going to get more expensive as your list grows, but once again, Jessica's putting a link in that comment box down there, guys. So if you want to check out Aweber, you can click on that link and you'll get a really good deal on it. Next one, Constant Contact. They have a 60-day free trial. You don't have to put a credit card or anything in there. And then they're going to start at about 20 bucks a month. And they cannot do some of the things that some of these other campaign email providers can do, but they do advertise a lot. So I thought I would at least mention them, gave them a mention. Get Response. They give you a $30-day free trial, and their pricing starts at about 15 bucks a month. And I do suggest that you look through all of these. Don't base everything just on price. Don't do that, because you're going to get what you pay for in most cases, and sometimes a lot less. Next one is MailChimp. MailChimp offers a forever free plan, which allows you 12,000 emails for up to 2,000 subscribers, and their plans start at 10 bucks. They are cheaper, but they do not have really the e-commerce capabilities of doing funnels and all these other cool things that you can do. Yes? You don't. Oh, Jessica's putting her thumbs down. She says she does not like MailChimp. Why do you not like MailChimp? I'm going to let her chime in for a second here.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty biased because I really love Infusionsoft, but I started out years ago with MailChimp, and it just doesn't have capability. It's very difficult to design the way you want to design, and it wasn't worth it to me.
Okay, and somebody else is saying, yeah, the ease of use is very, very difficult with MailChimp. Yeah, I mean, it's popular, so I want to let you guys know about it. You know, I recommend Aweber and Infusionsoft, but it's out there. So there's another opinion, right? Active Campaign, obviously this tells you something right here. Active Campaigns start at $9, and in their name it says you can do campaigns there. Campaigns are very, very important because that's going to allow you to do all your follow-up emails and automate all these things. So, you know, definitely want to check out that. Excuse me, that one. What do we got up next here? Slide. Okay, Infusionsoft. Now, some of you are going to go, holy crap, that's expensive. It looks expensive. I understand that. But, you know, I was comparing the other day 150,000 people on a list. Okay, now you may not have 150,000 people on your list, but believe me, you can get there real fast. And it cost about, gosh, a little 300 and some odd bucks, I think, for 150,000 names on Infusionsoft. And I looked and I compared it to one of these lower end ones, and it would have cost $1,700 a month if you grew your list to that size with one of these lower end ones. So that's something that you got to look at. You know, how expensive is it going to grow to be? You know, what's going on there? So on down the road, you're going to have to switch. If you can't afford Infusionsoft to start off with, I get it, man. 100 bucks a month, that's a lot to have an email provider, a lot of money. But if you can afford it, I would highly recommend you starting off with Infusionsoft. And here's why: because it's going to be able to do so much more. You're going to be able to get so much more sales out of your customers because of all the campaigns you can build in there and all the little nuances to it. Okay, so that is one that if you can afford that 99 bucks, man, that's the way to go. It really, really is. So now we're going to get into the 7 secrets of building this cash machine list, because it really is a cash machine. So the first one is you want to create lead generating offers. Now these are called lead magnets. Now what a lead magnet is, it's an offer to give somebody something of value in exchange for their email. It used to be, you could say, hey, you want to be on my email list? I'll send you an email. And everybody's like, oh my God, yeah, I'd love to get an email. Well, it's not like that anymore, right? We unsubscribe constantly and we get spam constantly. So you got to offer something of real value. You know, we do things like, 7 ways to start a fire in the woods when you don't have matches, or, 10 ways to protect your home from intruders. because, we're all about survival at Survivalcave Food. If we were talking about my training, obviously it would be ways to make money online, 10 ways to, sell your first product on the Shopify store, that type of thing. So all it is it's a PDF, it's a download. Usually it could be a video, it could be a, video lesson. If you're not good at that, and you're not good at writing those things, you can go to Text Broker. That's TEXT, and Jessica can put that in the comment section there. It's textbroker.com. And pretty much at Text Broker, you can say, hey, I want a 500 to 800 word blog, or 10 steps to something, and you can just tell them what you want. They will actually research and write that for you for about $18 to $20. So it's well worth it. If you're not good at writing, I'd suggest you get good, number one. But number two, if you're not, there are ways of getting around that. So that's your first way that you can get some names. And believe me, it'll get some names. I'm going to show you an example of one of our sites in just a second. I'm going to show you how we get some names. The next one is do a contest. I love doing this. We run a contest on Facebook, and it's for free survival food. It's a bucket of food, or it's a case of meat or whatever. And we use a company called Contest Domination. And what's really cool about Contest Domination is that when somebody enters the contest, they get a certain number of points, obviously, to win. But if they want to get more points, all they got to do is refer a friend. Okay, now that's the really cool thing about it, is when they refer a friend, we then get that lead also. And some people will go in there and refer 5 or 10 friends. So it's really worth it to get these extra names, because they cost you nothing when they refer them. You're initially, if you're running an ad on Facebook, you're going to have to pay for that lead. You're going to see, every time somebody clicks and fills out your form to, win your free giveaway, you're going to pay for that. But once they get to your site, which would be Contest Domination, where that site is hosted, when they refer 5 or 6 more people, all those people are free. So it's a really cool way to build your list. Next one is have pop-ups with giveaways and discounts and downloadables. So, I talked a couple minutes ago about, if you have a pop-up that says join our email list, you're probably not going to get anybody to opt in. But if you have a pop-up that says, hey, we're giving away $500 in free survival food, or, I'm giving away $500 in e-commerce training, people are going to give you their email if that matches the page they're on. If it's a store, it's a Shopify store, and you're selling products, it could be, 20% discount on your first purchase today. Enter your email here to, claim that coupon. It could be a downloadable. It could be something that, like I talked about before, 10 steps to something. It could be a video, something like that, but you can embed these into pop-ups on your site. So this is for traffic that's already coming to your site. Next one is you can use Facebook groups. Now, we have Facebook groups, and the cool thing about groups right now is, they're all the rage because people are actually in there talking, they're sharing information. But the cool thing you can do on your group is to allow somebody to join your group, ask them 3 questions. The 3 questions could be, do you abide to our rules? Number 2 could be, what subjects are you interested in this group? And number 3 could be what? An email, okay? So we're going to put you on an email list and send you free training. We're going to put you on an email list and send you free offers. So that is a free thing to do too, because if you have a group and people are joining your group and they're popping their email in there, you're getting names for free. And names, we just talked about, are like cash. They're an asset. So that's a really cool thing you can do to get some emails. The next one is you can send paid traffic to your site, okay? So you can run an ad and they can opt in, and you can run traffic to a blog. You can run it to product pages or whatever, and get their emails by doing it that way. So I'm going to show you a really cluttered site here. And whose site is this? This is mine. And it's really cluttered because this speaks to survivalists. Survivalists like getting a lot of cool stuff. So let's look at it. I've got free downloads in the top right there. 7 cybersecurity tips. Download it now, okay? Now, the thing I do with these, which you're not going to see because I'm not going to run you through the funnel, but when they download some of these, they're going to actually go to a product page after that where they can actually buy a product. So not only am I going to grab their email, I'm going to give them an offer. What's the next one there? 5 cool ways to purify water. Okay, a survivalist wants to know how to purify water. We know that. So we have a download where they can get that. 10 FEMA mistakes and how to protect your family against them. We all know that FEMA makes mistakes, right? The government, God, they make more mistakes than any of us, right? So they can do that. Somebody's putting a comment in here, and let me, whoops, my screen went away. I'll get it back, guys. I just want to take a look at this. They say, hi, I want to use Facebook ads to bring people to my squeeze page. Having problems. Can you help? Of course we can help. Do you have a way to figure it out myself? It's really going to be on the type of ad you run. That's from Steve out there. Let me get back to my screen. We were doing pop-ups. We were doing paid traffic. I think we're at, guys. Yeah. Okay. So we're talking about free giveaways here. Look at some of the other giveaways have here, because I'm going to give you some ideas and you can incorporate this. On the bottom, oh wait, I skipped one, didn't I? Weird survival tools that work. That kind of gets people's interest. If it's weird, you know, you can always put weird in your opt-in, and that's what I would tell Steve. You know, maybe you have something strange or different, or you know, it's counterintuitive to what everybody knows. You know, put that in your ad. I've got a free book down there to the bottom left. I wrote that book. It's called The Great American Food Shortage. People who are interested in survival food go, oh, what's that? You know, and we actually give away the free book, but that's a free plus shipping offer, so they do play shipping. And another thing you can do is test. You know, take this test. The next thing you notice, test your knowledge. Are you a true survivalist? Well, everybody who's a survivalist wants to believe they're a true survivalist, right? So they can click there to take that test. And at the end of the test, they have to put in their email to get the answers. Okay, so that's how we're going to capture it. Then we got a cool survival tool next to that. They can opt in and get that survival tool for free, but it is plus shipping. So we're actually selling that. Same thing with the credit card knife next to it right there. So, and I think Jessica's typing some answers over there to somebody. Is that right? I see it. I see a ton of questions coming in. That's cool. Let's see here, and I'm weeding through some of this. Oh my gosh, it was so full of people today. Linda's got a question. Jessica, I can't see it on my screen. What is Linda's question there? Can you see that? We want to address that.
I can't open it until I finish answering.
Oh, she's all right. So Linda, she's going to read that out in just 1 second. If I click on it, it jumps off my PowerPoint somehow. Linda's one of our favorite people out there. Talk to her a lot. Next one you can do is YouTube videos. And we do this too. You know, YouTube will allow you to pre-populate the description section of your videos. You just got to go into, and I could do a video on that at some point, but you got to go into your settings. And in your settings, you can pre-populate some information. So that information could be free downloads that people can click on, and when they go there, you capture their email. It could be links to your website where you capture their email. So if you're doing any YouTube videos, these things are all free. So, you know, there's 7 ways, but now we're going to talk about what we're going to do with the list, because that's even more important, right? So let's take a look at that. People saying, I love those ideas. Cool, cool. Steve has even put his squeeze page there, Jessica. Maybe we can copy that and take a look at that in a little bit.
Yeah, we can. Steve, I actually responded to Steve and told him that we needed to see his Facebook ad and his landing page and his targeting. And cool. I told him to post it in the Facebook group so we can.
That's a great thing to do, Steve, because you know, post it in the group. There's a lot of very experienced people in there, you know, along with myself and my team, and we look at all that stuff. So if you would post that in the Facebook group, and then the cool thing about doing that, and some people don't want to do it because they want to get beat up. Don't worry about it. We don't do that. We'll tell you what's right, what's wrong. But the cool thing is you'll be helping some other people too, because they may be having that same issue. Somebody else is saying they want to post some stuff in there. You can do it. Not a problem. All right. So how often to mail your list? Okay. That is the question. How often to mail your list? And I'm going to move my screen here, which means the other thing's going to go away in just a second. But that's okay. We're going to be right back because I have to be able to read it. Not only how often to email, but what to email. That was the problem I had. I would sit down and go, what am I going to send them? I don't have anything interesting, you know? What am I going to do? So first off, you need to stay in contact with your list. You know, if you build a list, right, and you never email them, and then one day you email them, it's going to look like that little kid right there. They're going to be like, what? They're emailing me? Oh my God, why are they emailing me? What's going on here? And they're going to be more likely to unsubscribe. And I want you to write this down if you don't know it. Your subscribers are going to be more likely to unsubscribe if you email infrequently than if you email frequently. Why is that? Because they're not used to it. You know, they don't know you, and you're all of a sudden after 3 months you send them an email, they're like, well, I don't want that. But if you nurture your list, which I'm going to tell you how to do that in just a second. I know I'm running long today, but this is some really good information that's going to help you. If you email your list on a regular basis, and I'm going to tell you how regular and what to do it in just a second. And also, guys, don't forget, This video, we're going to put it up in the group, the Facebook group. It'll also be, if you're a member of the Digital Cash Academy, it'll be in there for you to look at for reference to later on. So let's talk about this. Think about this. If you don't email your list, why have an email list, right? I know I was so worried in the beginning. I was like, man, I don't want to email these people. They could unsubscribe. Well, if I don't email them, they're not subscribed anyhow, right? What's the point? So don't be afraid to email your list. They knew when they put their email in that you were going to send them an email. They're just waiting to see what that email is going to be and if it's going to be worthwhile, okay? They don't want to get emails like they don't want 30 emails a day. You can't do that. You can't overuse your list, but they do expect to get them. So let's talk about what we can do about that. When should you email? What is the day, the time, all that good stuff. You're going to have to play around with this a little bit. We found out that if we're going to email stuff about survival food, we like to do it just before lunch, right? Why is that? Because they're hungry, right? They're more likely to buy an 11 o'clock email on food than they are a 2 o'clock email on food when they're full. So that's how often we email, okay? Now, some of you may say, every day? Are you serious? Every day? If people were trying to sell me stuff every day, I'd unsubscribe. Well, it's not us trying to sell you something every day. It is really more the fashion of how we email people, okay? So I want to get into that. Now, I know people who have lists, and they actually will email 3 times a day or 4 times a day. I know a guy who's in the survival niche, and he has an offer in the morning, offer in the afternoon, offer in the morning, offer in the afternoon. So that's more than I would want to do, and that's not the way I would want to do it, but it works for him. So you do have to email frequently, though. So what should you email? There's the big question. I mean, what are you actually doing? And I'm going to give you a sample of some of the stuff we do, and it may give you an idea for what you want to do. So the first thing you're going to want to do is email content. What is content? Content is anything that's going to be related to whatever your niche is. Okay, so let's say you're in dog training. Okay, let's say that's your thing, dog training. You may want to shoot a video of you doing a simple thing with your dog at the house and showing people how it works. And they'll watch that and they'll go, wow, that's really cool. That's interesting. And not only that, but they get to see your dog. They get to see you. You build up your brand. They got useful information. So you want content. We send out stuff about survival, okay? We have a blog, and we'll send out some PDFs, some downloads, some tips, some tricks, all to do with survival. So whatever your niche is, you want to send out some content. And that piece of email that you're sending out as content, do not sell in that content. Don't do it. Let them see that sometimes they just get good value from you. Next thing is you're going to send out your offers. Okay, your offers, anything you're offering to sell or your services, those things that you do for people. And here's something you may not have thought about, and I'm going to talk about this in just a second, other people's offers. There's a way that, sometimes you may not have enough offers. Sometimes you don't have enough content. So you can send out other people's offers. One place you can find those is at clickbank.com. Jessica's going to put that in the comments section. Clickbank.com. You can set up an account at ClickBank, and you can find digital offers. You can find physical offers. And these offers usually will pay you anywhere from 50 to 75%. So if you're building up a list and you don't have anything to send, that's the way to go about it. It costs nothing. All right, did you hear me? I said nothing to send out these affiliate offers. Most of the affiliate offers, all you do is you set up an account. You're going to have a user ID. You're going to generate a link. And when the people click on that link and they go to that offer and they buy it, ClickBank's going to hand you money. That's pretty cool, right? So no matter what your niche is, you can find offers at ClickBank, and there's, I don't know, hundreds of thousands of them there. ClickBank does about $500 to $600 million a year in sales, okay? And you can be part of that. So that's something you can put in your offers. Let's look at an email schedule now, what a sample one looks like. Now, I'm going to have people saying, oh, that's not what I want to do. I want to do that. Well, do whatever you want to do then. I'm just showing you what we do, what works for us, and it'll give you an idea how to set yours up, okay? Let's get started on this. Monday, content, okay? People wake up Monday morning, they don't get hit with a sale, they get hit with good content, some information they can use, some stuff they can act on. Tuesday, you can do a broadcast or affiliate offer. Now, affiliate offer is the thing I just talked about where I said you can send out somebody else's offer, or what you can do is just grab one of your products, something that you think is cool and interesting, and say, hey, I'm having a sale on this particular item today. This is a one-day only sale. And I always do recommend that you try to put in there a time expiration. So, midnight tonight, this thing's over with. And then on Wednesday, I'm going to send them some more content. So I got a little sandwich there, right? I'm going to give them some more information, that they can find useful. And you got to give them this content, guys. Don't skip this step. Don't just hammer them for sales all the time. Thursday, we're going to do a broadcast or an affiliate offer, just like on Tuesday. Find something at ClickBank or, some other person's product if you want, or just send out an offer of yours. Friday, what we're going to do is we're going to do a sequence offer. Now, what is a sequence offer? These are ones that we already have programmed into our system. So if you notice, Monday and Wednesday is content and Friday is sequence. Those are programmed into our email autoresponder. And when somebody gets on our list, they start getting these emails in this sequence. So somebody who joined, I don't know, in September is going to be on a different sequence than somebody who joined in January. They're going to be at a different stage in these sequences. Our sequences last for about 6 months. So if you get on our email list at Survival Food, you're going to see different offers each week, and they're going to change for 6 months. You're not going to see the same offer. They're all going to be different, unless I do a broadcast and then you see that offer again. But for the most part, they're all different. Now, on Friday, I'm going to tell them, we got this offer, we got this product, we've got this service, whatever it is, but it's going to end. It's going to end in 3 days, okay? So on Saturday, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a sequence offer reminder. So this is an email that I've already set up in there, right? It's automatically going to go out and it's going to say, hey, that offer I told you about on Friday, I just want to remind you, it's going to die in 24 hours. It's over with. We're selling out. We don't have it anymore. And then on Sunday, I'm going to do a sequence offer ending. So I'm going to say, hey, in 6 hours, and 4 hours, and 3 hours. And some people like to send out one in the morning at 10 a.m. and another one at 6 p.m. and remind them how many hours are left. But that gives you, an overview and kind of a schedule that you can set up for yours. And I know it's a lot of work, but everything is, right? But once you have it set up, it's automatic. So I know, when somebody joins my list on Survivalcave Food, for the next 6 months, all these things are going to go out. And you eat this elephant one bite at a time. So don't say, oh my God, I got to write 6 months of emails. No, just do your Monday offers for 6 months. Okay, just do that, or 3 months, or a month. Just start there, and then once